want you to do a little mental exercise with me. Picture your weekly grocery run.
Mm-hmm.
You're pushing the cart, the wheels are doing that squeaky thing, and you've got your staples. You know, some bread, a frozen pizza for Friday, yogurt, cereal, maybe a cheeky packet of biscuits.
The usual stuff.
Right. Now, imagine taking everything out of that cart that wasn't made in a kitchen, but was constructed in a factory. According to the research we're looking at today, you might be left with an almost empty cart.
It's a shocking number.
We are talking 75%.
It is a number that genuinely stops you in your tracks. 75% of a typical shopping basket is now made up of ultra-processed foods, UPFs.
And that, to me, is the terrifying part. Because these things, the packaged snacks, the ready meals, they were supposed to be the occasional treat, the exception.
And somehow they become the rule.
Exactly. So welcome to the deep dive. Today we are unpacking a really comprehensive and frankly eye-opening article by Olivier Sanchez from New Trinity called Ultra-Processed Foods Overcoming Addiction.
It's a fantastic piece.
And I want to be clear right off the bat. The mission today isn't to shame anyone for loving a biscuit. I mean, let's be real. I love a biscuit.
We all love a biscuit. That is the entire point. We are biologically wired to love them.
Right. But the question is, why can't we eat just one? Today, we're going to figure that out. We're going to look at the specific, well, hacks that the food industry uses to bypass our willpower.
And hacks is the right word.
And we'll look at the toll this takes on our biology, which goes way beyond just gaining weight. And most importantly, we're going to lay out the escape plan. Because according to Sanchez, this isn't really a willpower issue at all, is it?
No, and that is the most critical insight here. We tend to view our diet as a series of, moral choices. I was good today, I was bad today.
A character test.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when you look at the neurobiology, as this article does, you realize you aren't fighting a fair fight. You are up against industrial formulations specifically engineered in labs to hijack your brain's reward system.
Hijack is a strong word, but it feels incredibly accurate. So let's unpack this. Let's define our terms. When we say ultra-processed food, we aren't just talking about junk food, are we? I mean, cheese is processed.
That's a great question. There's a lot of confusion. Most food is processed somehow. You cook a potato, that's processing.
Right.
But ultra-processed refers to industrial formulations. These are products made mostly from substances extracted from foods. Things like oils, fats, flours, refined sugars. And then they're all reassembled.
So it's deconstructed and then reconstructed.
Yeah.
Like a Frankenstein food?
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
And then, to make that reconstruction taste good, because raw starch and oil doesn't taste like much, they add the cosmetics.
The cosmetic.
Colors, flavorings, emulsifiers, ingredients you would never, ever find in a home kitchen. You don't have a jar of hydrolyzed soy protein next to your salt shaker.
I definitely don't. And the source points out a really sneaky trick on the labels. You flip the packet over, and you see sugar, obviously, but then you see terms that look fine, like natural flavorings or seasoning.
Right. Seasoning sounds lovely. It sounds like someone adding some thyme and rosemary.
Exactly. Wholesome, rustic.
But in the context of UPFs, seasoning or flavor is often a catch-all term. It's legally used to hide proprietary blends of additives designed to enhance texture and, well, palatability.
So it's a way to keep the label looking clean while still packing it with engineering.
That's the game. And that engineering leads us to this concept of hyperpalatability. This was a huge aha moment for me. It's not just that the food tastes good, it's that it tastes too good.
What's the biology there? Why hyper?
It's an evolutionary mismatch. In nature, you almost never find foods that are high in fat and high in sugar at the same time.
Okay, let's think about that. Fruit is high sugar but low fat.
Right. And meat or nuts are high fat but no sugar. Breast milk is one of the only exceptions, which makes sense. It's for rapid growth.
Okay.
But UPFs artificially combine sugar and fat, and then they add a ton of sodium on top. This specific triad triggers the brain's reward system in a way that natural food just can't.
It lights up the dashboard like a pinball machine.
It really does. It triggers a massive dopamine release. It hits the bliss point. And here's the trap. These foods are calorie-dense but structurally weak. They melt in your mouth.
Oh, like a cheese puff or a cracker.
Yeah, you hardly have to chew. It just vanishes.
It dissolves on your tongue.
It means you eat it fast. And because it breaks down so quickly, it bypasses the body's natural satiety signals.
The I'm full switch, the thing that tells me to put the fork down.
Precisely. Satiety is complex. It involves hormones, the physical stretching of your stomach. But if you can pack 1,000 calories into a small volume that digests instantly, the brain doesn't get the stop eating signal until it's way, way too late.
That feels Well, it feels cynical.
It is business. The manufacturer's goal is to maximize the volume sold. If their product makes you feel full after 3 bites, they sell less. So they engineer the food to bypass that signal. They want you to finish the bag.
So when I sit down with a bag of chips and suddenly realize I've eaten the whole family-sized bag, it's not just me being greedy.
You are fighting against a chemically engineered algorithm designed to keep you chewing. And the data backs this up. The source cites the Yale Food Addiction Scale.
And the numbers were just shocking. Addiction rates for UPFs are comparable to alcohol and tobacco.
Yes, it affects about 14% of adults and, frighteningly, 12% of children. We're seeing behaviors that mirror substance abuse, withdrawal, inability to cut down, using it despite knowing it's causing harm.
And the mechanism is neuroadaptation. Let's unpack that because it sounds technical, but it's something we feel every day.
Think of it like a tolerance to caffeine. The first time you have a strong coffee, you're buzzing. But drink it every day, and your brain sort of turns down the volume on your dopamine receptors.
So you need more coffee just to feel normal.
Exactly. Now apply that to hyperpalatable foods. Your brain gets battered by these intense flavors, so it protects itself by numbing the sensors. And the tragedy is, once your baseline is reset to industrial flavor explosion, natural food stands no chance.
That explains so much. You try to switch to a salad and it tastes like cardboard. You think, how do people eat this stuff?
Because your sensors are calibrated for a rock concert, and an apple is a whisper. The apple hasn't changed. Your ability to perceive it has.
Wow. Now, if we zoom out, this isn't just in our brains. This is a massive global machine. The source says processed food sales are over $2 trillion.
It's an enormous economic footprint. And what we are seeing is the globalization of the SA diet, the standard American diet.
Which is a very appropriate acronym, SAD.
It really is. We are exporting this way of eating, and it's destroying diverse, healthy food traditions. But here's where the article connects the dots in a way that really makes you stop and think. The profit loop.
The connection between the food industry and the pharmaceutical industry. This part made me angry.
It's the uncomfortable truth. You had the food industry on one side, making massive profits from products that drive chronic disease, obesity, diabetes, hypertension.
And on the other side.
On the other side, you have the pharmaceutical industry waiting to catch us. Sanchez points this out explicitly. As UPF consumption goes up, so does the demand for statins, insulin, acid reflux medication, some of the highest grossing drugs in history.
It's a perfect ecosystem for making money, just not for human health. You get sick from the food, and then you pay a monthly subscription to manage the sickness.
And manage is the key word. We aren't curing these diseases, we're managing them. And the source adds another layer. These are multinational conglomerates. They're very good at tax avoidance. So the profits often go offshore, while the health costs are left for the local taxpayer to deal with.
That is infuriating. And the cost isn't just healthcare, it's productivity, right? I know if I have a heavy carb-loaded lunch, I am useless at 3 p.m.
That's the classic hypoglycemic crash. UPFs are full of refined carbs that spike your blood sugar. What goes up must come down. When it crashes, your energy and concentration just evaporate. So we've got a workforce that's chronically tired and foggy.
Okay, so we've got addiction, we've got the economics. Now let's look at the damage. We know about the waistline, but the source goes deep on malnutrition. How can you be malnourished if you're eating 3,000 calories a day?
This is such a key distinction. High-calorie malnutrition. You can be obese and malnourished at the same time. It's increasingly common.
Because the calories are empty.
Worse than empty, they are displacing nutrient-dense foods. If your stomach is full of processed filler, you aren't eating the fiber, vitamins, and minerals your body actually needs. Plus, the extreme processing itself often destroys whatever nutrients were there to begin with.
So you're building a house with styrofoam instead of bricks.
Great analogy. But the part that really surprised me was the mental health connection. Food makes you fat. People get that. But food makes you sad. The source links high UPF consumption to depression and anxiety.
Yeah, this is where the science is moving really quickly. It's not just feeling bad because you ate junk. It's physiological.
It goes back to the gut-brain axis.
The second brain.
Exactly. Your gut produces about 95% of your body's serotonin, the happiness hormone. But it needs a healthy environment. UPFs are low in fiber and full of chemicals. This causes dysbiosis.
Dysbiosis. Sounds like a sci-fi villain. That's when the bad bacteria take over.
Right. You starve the good bacteria that feed on fiber, and you feed the bad bacteria that love sugar. When your gut microbiome is out of balance, inflammation rises, serotonin production drops. You're dismantling the factory that makes your mood stable.
So you eat the comfort food to feel better, but biologically, it's priming you to feel worse.
It's a vicious, vicious cycle. And that inflammation doesn't just stay in the gut. It travels. It links to liver disease, even cognitive dysfunction, brain fog, memory
Oh,
issues.
wait, that is heavy stuff. But we promised an escape plan. Because the good news is biology is adaptable, right? We aren't stuck like this forever.
Absolutely not. The body is incredibly resilient. The brain can learn addiction, but it can also unlearn it.
So let's talk strategy. The source suggests a mindset shift first, treating UPS as treats again.
Right. The goal isn't zero tolerance, which usually leads to relapse. It's about recategorizing. Recognizing that a box of biscuits is not a meal. It's not a staple. It's a recreational substance.
I like the rule of thumb Sanchez offers, the 1.4 rule. Can you break that down?
It's a brilliant, practical metric. For every one ultra-processed item you have, a ready meal, a sugary snack, you aim to consume 4 home-cooked meals made from scratch.
From scratch sounds intimidating. Do I need to churn my own butter?
Not at all. It just means using whole ingredients. Chicken breast, broccoli, rice, and egg, things that look like they did when they came out of the ground. And the target is high, 75% vegetables.
Wow, that is a lot of plant matter.
It is, but remember the displacement effect. If you're eating that much good stuff, you physically don't have room for the junk. You're crowding out the bad with the good.
Now let's address the elephant in the room, cravings. Because if I stop eating sugar today, tomorrow I'm going to have a headache and I'm going to want a donut.
You have to anticipate the withdrawal. It's real. But here's the timeline that gives us hope. 2 weeks.
Just 2 weeks.
Your taste buds, the actual cells on your tongue, turn over and are replaced every 10 to 14 days. If you can eliminate the hyperpalatable stuff for just that short period, your sensitivity resets.
So that apple starts tasting sweet again.
Exactly. You realize how aggressively sweet the processed food was. It's like taking off noise-canceling headphones. You bite into a commercial cake, and it might actually sting your teeth.
But getting through those first few days is the hard part. And this is where the source provides what I'm calling biological armor, specific micronutrients that can help fight the addiction.
This is the most empowering part. We aren't just using willpower, we're using chemistry to fight chemistry.
Let's run through them. First up, magnesium. Why is this so important?
Because magnesium regulates blood glucose and insulin sensitivity. When your blood sugar crashes, that's when the panic craving hits, the hangry feeling. Magnesium smooths out those spikes and crashes.
Okay, next, omega-3s, fish oil, walnuts.
This is for the brain. Omega-3s are essential for your brain cells and for dopamine and serotonin function. If your dopamine system is working correctly, you are less likely to seek that artificial high.
Fiber. We know we need it for digestion, but why for addiction?
Satiety. Fiber triggers the release of hormones like GLP-1.
Wait, GLP-1, isn't that the hormone that those new weight loss drugs are mimicking?
Exactly. Those drugs are just chemically hacking the system to tell your brain, I am full. Fiber does that naturally. Plus, it slows down sugar absorption, which puts the brakes on the sugar rush.
Okay, so fiber is nature's Ozempic. Got it. Now, vitamin D and zinc. The source connects these to a hormone called leptin.
Leptin is the master satiety hormone. It's produced by fat cells to tell your brain, we have enough energy, stop eating. If you are deficient in vitamin D or zinc, that signal gets impaired. Your brain never gets the memo that you're full.
That is wild. So you could be eating constantly, but chemically believe you are starving?
Exactly. It shows how connected it all is. Your hunger isn't just about your stomach.
And finally, chromium and B vitamins.
Chromium is fascinating. It enhances insulin action and specifically seems to impact carbohydrate cravings. And vitamins B6, B12 are the spark plugs for energy metabolism. If that's broken, your body screams for quick energy. Sugar.
So this isn't just take your vitamins. This is about giving your body the ammunition to say no to the engineered addiction.
Yes. It is about restoring the body's natural signaling systems. When your body is nourished, the screaming cravings turn into a whisper.
So we're up against a $1 trillion industry that has hacked our biology. That sounds daunting.
It is daunting, but knowledge is the antidote. Once you understand the craving isn't a character flaw, but a biological manipulation, you can treat it. You can use the 1.4 rule, you can do the 2-week reset, you can reclaim your palate.
And essentially reclaim your health.
We can. The Mediterranean diet approach, whole foods, healthy fats, lean proteins, is the gold standard for a reason. It feeds the body, not the addiction.
Now, before we wrap up, there was one little nugget in this source that we haven't touched on. The homework assignment.
The McDonald's chips investigation.
Yes. The source leaves us with a cliffhanger. It suggests investigating what type of potatoes are used for those famous tries.
It's a provocative thought. It hints that the issue isn't just the processing in the factory. It goes all the way back to the agriculture, the
Yeah.
specific monocultures, the pesticides required to grow that one type of potato, the russet Burbank.
And I read that the farmers who grow them won't even step out into the fields for days after spraying them.
Right. It suggests the rabbit hole goes deeper than just the fryer. It connects to the soil itself.
So consider that your invitation to be curious. Go look that up. But for now, maybe start with the 2-week taste bud reset. See what happens when you let your body do what it's designed to do.
It might just be the best decision you make this year.
Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive. We'll catch you next time.